nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Everett Lee Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's cut the damn music. Everett Lee is live tonight, baby, on Facebook.com. LSE is live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. You could tune in and watch me and my fantastic co-host, who is with me right now on the line. He is the voice of CCE Presents and the DeLand Rock Metal Festival, Chris Carnage. What's up, buddy?
Look at you just trying to pump up my ego, trying to say I'm fantastic.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, you're glorious.
Oh, don't cue the music or anything.
Oh, no. I don't want to do that.
We don't need any lawsuits today.
Nah. Especially with how things are going on in this world, especially with, as you would say, with how YouTube has basically been like crushing and running off content creators. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. But you know what? I'm glad that the community is starting to come together, because now there's petitions left and right petitioning YouTube to stop their prejudice against wrestling.
Mm-hmm. I know. I saw that. That was pretty crazy, man. That is pretty crazy. I'm like, what the hell? You know, it's just messed up. And, it's like controversy. And it's like what we're going to be talking about tonight on this show, on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be talking about a lot of things besides wrestling tonight. We'll be talking about sports. We'll be talking about what happened in England over this weekend. We'll also be throwing out two, not one, but two top fives on this episode of ELS Live. And also we'll be talking about some movies coming up. We'll be talking about gaming, upcoming video game releases. And then, of course, what we love talking about is wrestling. And
good old wrestling.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with some wrestling, man. You cannot go wrong with that. And all this is brought to you by our sponsors, or friends of the show, actually, I should say. North Avenue Studios, local and professional audio and video tracking, mixing, and mastering. Call or email now to book at 386-774-7464. Send them an email at Gmail. Yeah, they got a Gmail account right there. North Avenue Studios at gmail.com. And where are they at, Chris?
They're in good old Orange City, Florida.
That's right. Also, DeLand City Limits Tap Room, the official host of Draft Tuesday of the Everett Lee Show. Draft Tuesday happens at the end of each month at live on location at DeLand City Limits Tap Room. Stop by and you'll be able to see a live recording of the Everett Lee Show. And you don't know what's going to happen or who's going to stop by. And so, speaking of stopping by, we'll get more to that later. And Amazon.com. Click on the Amazon links on our new website, everettshangout.weebly.com. You click on a link through Amazon, through the website. Portion comes back to us to help us support the website, help us support the podcast, and you'll get your needs. So you buy anything through Amazon, go through everettshangout.weebly.com. Is that enough, or is there more? What do you say? What is happening in the world of sports, Chris? You told me, you reached out today and you told me about some things happening with what's going on in the world of sports, especially with the NFL.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, there's so much going on, but on a lighter note, we'll start out with the fact that the NFL did make a good move in changing the celebration rules after touchdowns. They're still going to prohibit players from dunking over the crossbar, but basically you can still use that ball in any manner that you see fit. As long as it's used as a prop, it's going to the ground or group celebrations. But sadly, and I'm sorry, Antonio Brown of the Pittsburgh Steelers, no twerking allowed still. But still, we'll be able to have a little bit of fun. But however, how many people are we actually going to see scoring any touchdowns? Because a lot of big names are going to be starting the season on the suspended list. And it's just crazy to me that in this day and age, with the amount of attention that a lot of these players get, that they still screw up. Now, I understand people are human. I get that. But at the end of the day, there's no reason for people to be taking performance-enhancing drugs or abusing any type of drugs in a recreational fashion. You look at guys, I'm going to go down the list real quick, just ones that are going to be starting the season suspended because of performance-enhancing drugs. Kenneth Dixon, running back, Baltimore Ravens, 4-game suspension, won't be back till week 5. LaTroy Guion, defensive lineman, Green Bay Packers, 4-game suspension, won't be back till week 5. Max Bulow, linebacker, Houston Texans, 4-game suspension, won't be back till week 5. Kenny Palapoi, defensive tackle, San Diego Chargers, 4-game suspension, served part of it last year, but he'll be back in week 2. Jalen Marshall, wide receiver, New York Jets, 4-game suspension, won't be back till week 5. Trent Murphy, linebacker, Washington Redskins, 4-game suspension, won't be back till week 5. Now, I just find it ridiculous that, these players know the exact list of what they can and cannot take as part of their training regimen. Now, a lot of them blame stuff on trainers or I was taking a supplement I didn't know was in it. You know what? As being a multi-million-dollar paid athlete, you should know, because it is part of your responsibility as a player to know what is going in your body.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. If you have to rely on performance drugs to actually hit that home run, score that touchdown, throw that pass, score that goal, kick that goal, anything, man, you got problems.
Absolutely. Because in essence, that's just cheating. Mm-hmm. And, we're supposed to be going out and teaching these young fans out there that you need to go out, work hard to be able to succeed and get where you want to go. You don't need to be teaching them to cut corners and cheat your way to the top.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of message is send into upcoming athletes? It's like, okay,
Absolutely.
My favorite athlete, they use that stuff. So if they use it, then look what they're doing. So I should use it too. No.
Exactly. And that's exactly what you're teaching them.
Mm-hmm.
But worse still is that in a weird sense of way, you can kind of see why, people want to try and be the best. The NFL is very competitive. But on the next list of players I'm going to list, it makes no sense at all. Because these are gentlemen that are just taking recreational drugs because they can't get their lives together, can't get their roots in the ground and say, you know what, I am in the spotlight of the NFL and all these fans. Maybe I should go ahead and be on top of things how they are paying me millions of dollars to do so. You look at guys like Doug Martin, running back, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was busted because he failed a drug test for Adderall. Was served a 4-game suspension. He still has 3 games left. He will return week 4 for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Or even worse, you got guys like Rolando McClain, who was a passenger in a vehicle that struck a police cruiser while they were drinking, and he had possession of a firearm and all this other crazy stuff. He's been suspended indefinitely. Or like Randy Gregory, who also failed a drug test as well as second one of failing the substance abuse policy, and he is suspended indefinitely. And everybody knows about Josh Gordon, the wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, and he just simply cannot put down the joint. And because of that, he's still suspended indefinitely. Missed all of last season, probably going to miss all of this upcoming season. It just blows my mind that guys can't just get it. Now, there's some that, it's a little bit more understandable. In the instance of Chantrell Henderson, tackle for the Buffalo Bills, he was suspended 10 games last year, served 5 last year, will serve 5 this year, and return week 6. and he was busted for a failed test for marijuana. Now, in his case, though, he uses marijuana to treat his Crohn's disease and to also help him with not one but 2 stomach surgeries that he had. So, in some senses, I guess it can make sense, but in others, it doesn't. Like with Josh Gordon, he just likes to smoke pot. You know, what are you going to say to that? Yeah. You know, you got to get off the damn bong and realize that you're getting paid $1 million to be the number 1 wideout for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, you definitely gotta. It's just ridiculous, man. This was going on for, as long as they've introduced, enhancements for athletes and stuff. I remember back when what was it, Major League Baseball with Jose Canseco. Remember that thing?
Oh yeah,
that was a big thing, man.
Hey, how about Mark McGwire?
Yeah, Mark McGwire. Yeah, Jose Canseco.
Sammy Sosa.
Yes, Sammy Sosa. It's just ridiculous, All I can say is one thing besides like someone that was doing something besides enhancement. I have to throw out there is hopeful. I wish they would let him into the Baseball Hall of Fame, and that's Pete Rose. That's
Pete Rose. And in his case, it's a little bit different, and it's one I wish they would get over already. I understand he betted on baseball, but there was no evidence found that he threw any games because of his betting that he played in. So in general, he was just betting. Now,
are you there, Chris? Hello, Chris. I think I lost you, man. You cut out.
You still there?
Yeah, you cut out, man. You cut out.
I don't know what happened. I actually did not hit the mute button this time. I swear.
Everything's running good on my end. I did an update for my software. I found that update, and I did it today, and things are running pretty good. My CPU usage is running low, which is impressive at a 30%. And it's going good. Facebook Live's going good.
Well, maybe it's Roger Goodell trying to cap my mouth because he's upset about how much I'm talking about these players in the NFL.
Damn!
Don't make the list, Roger Goodell.
Yeah, you don't
you
want to.
You know how you make the list?
You know what's going to happen? You just made the list!
but still, it's ridiculous. You got a guy like Pete Rose. He, in my opinion, should already be in the Hall of Fame. He was a great player. They've been suspending guys, though, for betting for almost 100 years now. And it's not like it's something new, but at the same token, there has to be a defining line where you say, okay, we're past this. He served his time. He's no longer involved in Major League Baseball in any way, shape, or form, and has it for some time. Let's just get it over with. Yeah. Get him in the Hall. Let's move on.
Yeah, exactly. That is crazy what's going on in the world of sports, man. And Chris Carnage brings you sports each and every week here on ELS Live on the Everett Lee Show. It's brought to you by right there on the screen. If you're viewing the live stream right now, Pigskin Chronicles. You want sports? You want anything on sports? Head over to their Facebook page. And what's their Facebook page, Chris?
Go to facebook.com/Pigskin Chronicle, and you can catch all the latest updates of sports. I think they actually posted one recently about tight end Rob Gronkowski reworking his contract to become the highest paid tight end in the league. So go on over there, give that a read. It's great stuff. Check them out.
Yes, definitely check them out. Good Facebook site for sports right there. You see on the screen right there, Pigskin Chronicles. Head over to their Facebook page and check out the latest news going on in the world of sports. Talking about what's going on in the world, I just want to mention that my condolences to the victims of what happened this past weekend with the attacks over on England.
Absolutely.
That's so sad on what happened, my thoughts and prayers to the families that lost their daughters, their sons, and family members in that tragedy that happened over this past weekend. It burns me up, man. And at all places, it was an Ariana Grande concert. You know what I mean?
Who has been very pro-Islam and, a very pro-refugee. So to have something like that happen there was very surprising to me. And like you said, our condolences go out to everybody that was involved in this and lost loved ones. You know, a lot of them were younger teenage girls because obviously it was an Ariana Grande concert. And it's just real sad. You know, 22 were confirmed killed, over 50 injured. They have arrested 5 people in connection to this attack. And hopefully we can bring some kind of swift justice to try and bring peace of mind to these family members who are currently grieving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It burns me up because for the fact of the matter is that nowadays in this world, I'm going to go on a little bit of rant here, Chris, so be prepared.
Do it up.
All right. What pisses me off the most is nowadays you cannot go out and enjoy yourself. You can't go out any place and actually enjoy yourself with friends or family because you got some radical assholes that basically want to strike fear in everyone in this country. I don't like it. I don't like it, man.
I don't either.
What the world needs to do, we need to unite. We need to take out this threat and wash our hands of it, move on, and enjoy our lives with each other because it just upsets me. I'm not a big fan of Andre Grande. I'm not really a big fan of the pop music and everything and stuff. Something like that. Thank God she didn't get killed. You know, thank God that didn't happen.
Absolutely.
But what burns me up is the fact that you got this group running around and trying to strike fear at everyone's lives where you're going to live in terror.
With total disregard.
Yeah. I'm not going to live in terror. No one's going to, no one should live in terror. You should go out and enjoy your life and do what you love doing. And don't worry about some, people that live underneath the sand out in the middle of nowhere. You know, it drives me crazy. One thing I do got to say about Andre Grande, there was something that was posted up about a couple years ago. Chris, you ever have that friend that's on Facebook and they post stuff up that was like news that was like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago?
Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm. Recently had someone post up something that was reported back about 2 years ago with Andrea Grande. She was at a donut shop. Did you hear about that or see the video of that?
I don't believe I did.
Yeah, she was at a donut shop, and they were putting donuts up on the counter, and Andrea Grande was like, I hate America. I hate Americans. And then she licked the donuts, her and her boyfriend at the time, licked the donuts on the counter, were laughing about it and stuff, and they spit on the donuts and got their donuts and left. I don't like the actions that she did, but what gets me is that the way they were putting it is like Andrea Grande don't like America. It's like she didn't. From what I got from the video, she didn't like the American donuts. They're blowing it out of context. TMZ loves to blow stuff out of context. It
is true.
It is.
However, there are other outlets though that did say that she has been saying a lot of disparaging comments about America. Mm-hmm. And it's not even too much about America. It's just more about our politics and the BS that, honestly, when you look at it, not a lot of people have any kind of control over. But to me, in these times, people don't need to be pointing fingers, being like, oh, it's Trump's fault. Oh, it's Hillary's fault. Oh, it's this person's fault. It's that person's fault. We need to just unite together like Americans and unite with our allies and take care of a serious threat. Yeah. Because it hurts me to know that there is children, because as a parent, this is what hurts me, that there is children in the Middle East being killed for no damn reason because they claim that it's in their jihad, it's because of their religious views, and you're going to harm children who don't know anything. Mm-hmm. That's what hurts me. That
hurts me too as a parent myself. It does. It does. Knowing if my daughter, she goes out, if anything's going to happen, if she's going to make it to where she needs to go, and if she's going to make it to come back. That's what bothers me about that. This terrorist group that goes out there and just basically does all this stuff. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. It is really ridiculous.
And to me, it's cowardice.
Yeah.
You're going to go and attack, unbeknownst to anybody, you're going to attack the civilians, not even military personnel, not politicians. You're going to attack innocent civilians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to attack civilians. You're going to attack people trying to enjoy themselves at a concert, you know? I mean, a few years ago, if you remember, it was 2 years ago that they planned on going out and they were going to do some kind of attack on the WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view where that was.
I remember that.
Yeah, that didn't happen because they got wind of it, you know. WWE got wind of it and they stepped things up, you know, and made sure everything was all right. They took the right precautions, and I don't blame them for that.
Yeah.
You know, I do got to say that it's just the security issues and everything being bumped up, especially England right now. I saw this today. They're on critical watch right now. They're going to have their military
I have no doubt.
Help out the local police and just make sure that nothing else is going to happen, because there's rumors is that it might be another attack, which is pretty crazy.
Well, you read the news too, is that, you know, with those 5 people that they arrested, they're believing that there's a possible terror cell. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, you see these cowardice acts, these cowardice ways that they carry out these attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's against unarmed people
Mm-hmm.
who don't know what's going on, and you're attacking them unbeknownst to anybody. And it's not like, you know, wars or battles or conflicts of yore where you made your declaration of war, you sent your troops, and you battled it like men. No, they're doing it like cowards.
Mm-hmm. They are.
And hurting the innocents.
They are. It burns me up. It burns me up that what they're
Grinds
doing.
my gears.
They're also recruiting. They're also recruiting like children and stuff, you know, as like strapping bombs to themselves.
Yes, which is just as equally sick.
It is. It just burns me up, man. It does how they do stuff. It does. And if I keep going on any longer, I'm going to grab something right here and I'm going to just break it.
And trust me, Chris Carnage has things he can use to break things with. So,
yeah, the more I talk about fucking ISIS, it just pisses me off. And I'm like, you son of a bitches, you know? Let's move on before I go into cardiac arrest here, because it just really, I'm just like, you know, I'm about to do the Booker T, you know, I'm about to do a spinneroonie up in this bitch.
well, let's go ahead and change gears then. Have you seen any good movies lately?
Yes, I did. I went to see last night. Me and the wife went out and seen Alien Covenant. We went and seen that. Yeah, we did. Before I do mention that, I want to say thank you for everyone viewing in on the live stream right now. See the link on the bottom of the page there. You can support us at Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/ELS_DT to help support the Everett Lee Show. You'll get early access to audio podcast a day before they're released on Friday. So be sure to check that out. Also, Alien Covenant. I want to get into that there. I saw that last night, Chris. I thought it was pretty good. Story-wise, it filled in the gaps of what happened with Prometheus. If you have not seen Alien Covenant, be prepared to be spoiled. Do you want to be spoiled, Chris?
I love being spoiled.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Let me just briefly say this. Alien Covenant takes place 10 years after Prometheus. You saw Prometheus, right, Chris?
That I did.
Okay. Alien Covenant takes 10 years after Prometheus. The mission, the colony ship Covenant, it is on its way going to a planet that is like another Earth. On the way there, they get some kind of a distress call coming from a planet that is along the way. They end up going to that planet, and it's almost like another Earth. Habitat, good climate, good, you know, oxygen, just everything, just like Earth. So they head to the stress call, and it was the ship that you last seen in Prometheus. There, they two members ended up getting into an accident, and of course, we have a couple of aliens running around on the planet. We run across the survivor, one of the survivors from the Prometheus mission, David. David's still alive. And all I got to say is that the scene where what happens to the two people, how they get infected, was they stepped on a spore, that black spore. If you remember that black virus from Prometheus, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
One of the guys steps on it, and you probably saw from the trailer, it went airborne and went into his ear. Well, the guy started getting sick and everything, and one guy, when they were in the ship Prometheus, he falls over and he breathes one of the spores in his mouth. Well, this guy, the first guy that gets infected, he's all shaking and convulsing. They bring him back into the ship. They're all freaking out, and the Covenant ship is above the planet. We're trying to radio signal, and they're hearing everything that's going on inside the ship that they drop down. All of a sudden, man, freaking the dude's in there starting convulsing and stuff. He's sitting there, he's like, ugh, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And he starts spitting up blood, and in the back of his shirt, his back, it started like blood shoots out. And we're like, oh my god. And then one of the girls locks the other girl in the room with her. And she's like, you gotta let me out. She's like, no, you're contaminated. And she's sitting there freaking out. The dude, a freaking thing pops out of his fucking back, blood everywhere, and his body falls over. And it's a freaking alien. Okay? God. I was like, oh god. And then it attacks the girl. She kicks it, and she gets a knife, and she tries to kill it, and that thing jumps all over her and starts tearing the shit out of her. The one girl opens up the thing, comes in with the shotgun. She slips on the blood, and she shoots the fucking ceiling. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, really? Really? It's like she fell in the blood, the first lady. Now you fell in the blood. Come on, man.
Oh, my God.
And they ended up, you know what happens when you try to kill an alien in a ship with explosive tanks, right? Boom! Yeah.
Man, now I got to go see this.
Yeah, you definitely got to go see this. And then the second guy, they're in the field trying to get back to the ship, and they're like, oh, my God. And what's his name? Danny McBride. He's up in, in charge of the Covenant ship, doing radio signal up above the atmosphere. And he's sitting there, and he's like, what the hell? And he starts freaking out and stuff. Well, they're all freaking out about the ship blowing up because they lost about 3 people. Then all of a sudden, the guy that inhaled the spores, he's sitting there and he falls on the ground. And he's like, start convulsing. They're like, hold him down. All of a sudden, he freaking spits up all his blood, and it looks like a big ass freaking alien snake comes out of his mouth. And it, like, within seconds, it forms into they call them neomorphs. They're white.
Oh, wow.
And they're out in the remember Jurassic Park 2 when they're running out in the high grass and all the raptors?
Yeah.
That's basically what it reminded me of, because those things took off. The one took off, and I guess the other one actually in the ship didn't get killed. It took off. So you got 2 of these fuckers out there. All right. And they're out in this high, tall, wheat grass, and it's getting dark, and you got your shotguns. You don't know which direction these things are to be coming at, man, and they're growing at a rapid rate. It was freaking fantastic. David, it explains about what happens a lot with David. They go into what happened when him and Dr. Shaw arrived to the planet, what happened to the engineers, why he did what he did, if you remember from the previews with him dropping the black goo on the engineers. I'm going to mention that scene was freaking awesome, man. I was like, oh my God. But it ties up a lot of stuff, and it gives more of a story about why things happen and what David's been doing for the last 10 years.
Oh, wow.
They are going to be making another one after this. I read today that Ridley Scott has already got he's already got the script written and ready to go, and just need to get a production date, and they're going to roll with it. Rumor is, I heard the next movie is going to be called Alien Awakening. So the way this one ends, yeah, I can definitely tell. But it had a pretty damn good ending. And when they introduced the xenomorph, dude, classic Alien, man, classic Alien.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw a movie over the weekend, not quite as action-packed as what you saw.
What'd you see, man?
I went and saw me the good old Lego Batman movie, finally.
Oh, yeah. That's
awesome.
Right.
I'm a fan of Lego movies. Go ahead and judge. Parent life. Mess with it. So
I want to see that, man. I want to see it. How was it?
Honestly, I was a huge fan of the Lego movie, and I loved every bit of that. I loved Chris Pratt's performance in it. He played a great dope, which he usually does in movies, and it was really entertaining. But you get the Lego Batman movie. Oh, I tell you what, they turned it up to 11. They did so much in there I did not expect. There's characters they bring in you have no clue are going to show up, and just the overall storyline was amazing. The voice acting was great. The story was great, and I tell you what, Batman was freaking hilarious. Honestly, if you have not seen it, go see it. Great for the whole family. Doesn't matter if you're a kid, adult, doesn't matter. Go see it. It is really, really good.
Spoil me a little bit. What is this? What is it about? I know in the Lego movie it was about a kid's imagination with the Legos and stuff and everything. Well,
this one's a little bit more direct. It's basically about Batman and the fact that he's always alone, and then he has to cope with the fact that there are others around him that actually like him and care for him. So basically, the story goes on where it starts out with him having to foil yet another Joker scheme, with Joker trying to blow up a reactor in Gotham, which of course Batman foils. But during the end of it, Joker's like, you can't let me go. I'm your greatest enemy and all of this, and without you, there's no me. Without me, there's no you. And Batman's like, no, you're just another guy. So basically, Joker ends up being locked away in a high-security prison, and Batman's at home trying to enjoy himself, but realizes how alone he really is. And Commissioner Gordon then decides to retire. So with that, you end up bringing in a new commissioner who wants to basically use good old style detective work and perseverance and not Batman to solve these issues that are going on in Gotham with all these villains. However, Joker comes up with a bright idea and gets every single villain arrested. So there'd be no more need for a Batman.
Oh my God. That is crazy.
Oh, yeah, but then it takes a stunning turn because the Joker comes up with a scheme to be able to get into the, the Shadow Realm, where, Batman had casted so many villains away throughout all the years in the comics and the shows and all that. They bring that in, and he basically unleashes everybody who's been lost away.
Ooh, no way. Kind of like
I won't give away names, but there's some surprises in there. What was that?
Kind of like Batman Begins, when Scarecrow releases all the inmates from Arkham.
Oh yeah, but it even goes on a whole nother level because the amount of bad guys that comes out, you're gonna be surprised till you see it. I'm not gonna give that away because it's a great star-studded little cast they got, but it's a really good movie. Go check it out. And even one more tidbit I'm gonna throw out there is the fact that he adopts Robin, and just the banter they have back and forth is some of the most hilarious writing that I've seen in a while in an animated film.
Dude, that's awesome. Now, I heard that Mark Hamill did reprise the role as the voice of the Joker. Is that correct?
Actually, he did not in this one. I don't remember exactly who did it, but I know it was not the Joker, or it was not Mark Hamill. Right. But the person they did have come in and play Joker did a wonderful job. Of course, they brought back the same actor who played Batman in the Lego movie, along with many other notable ones. But it was really, really well done.
Yeah, I definitely want to go check that one out. And if anyone has a movie and a recommendation they want to give us right now, see the number on the screen. Don't be afraid to call it. We want to hear from you tonight. We want to hear all the fans. Come out and play, ladies and gentlemen. 386-206-1595. Call the Everett Lee Show. We want to hear your thoughts on earlier the sports. We want to hear your thoughts on what movie you're looking forward to seeing this summer or this fall.
Or this winter.
Yeah, this winter. Oh, yeah.
Because there's some good ones coming out later this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there is some definitely good ones coming out. And I wanted to say this. There was a couple of good preview trailers right before Covenant. I want to see this one. It kind of reminds me of, did you ever see that movie with Ryan Gosling where he's a wheelman called Drive?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, they got one coming out. It's kind of like almost like a comedy of it. It's called Baby Driver, about this kid. Yeah. It's cool because it has Jamie Lee Foxx in it. And then on the previews, you got to check out the previews later on when you get time. Search Baby Driver trailer. The trailer, I guess, from the trailer, the story is this kid, he's a good wheelman, and he always wears earphones. He had an accident when he was a kid, and he hears a ringing. So he wears his earphones, and when he's driving and stuff, he could drive and do some, like, Fast and Furious drifting and good wheelman, like Jason Statham and stuff. Now, he wears the earphones to cut the ringing out and everything, but they had Jamie Foxx in it, and then they had this one scene in the trailer where they're going to be robbing like a house or a bank or something, and they're all wearing Michael Myers masks. And Jamie Foxx is hollering at the one guy. He said, "These ain't the Michael Myers mask I asked for." He goes, "Yeah, you did. You said Michael Myers." I said, "Not Mike Myers." I said, "Michael Myers, Halloween, cut you up, motherfuckers." They're like that. And he was like, "What's that?" And he's like, "I'm scared of horror." And he's like, "Oh!" He gets all mad. And
that is great.
they got this new trailer out, a new Charlene Theron movie called Atomic Blonde. That looks freaking amazing. That trailer. And you're gonna wet yourself right here, Chris. Guess what trailer they showed right before they showed Alien Covenant?
What's that?
Blade Runner 2049.
You know what? That looks like it's going to be amazing.
Yep, Harrison Ford is back in it as Blade Runner. Look at that.
Oh yeah, and I feel like that's going to be such a great film, and it's great to see Harrison Ford like squeezing in some ones right there at the end. But there's still one more, funny enough, tied to Harrison Ford that I'm looking forward to, and a lot of people are probably looking forward to, and that's good old Star Wars Episode 8. The Last Jedi.
They showed that trailer again too, man. I never get tired of watching that trailer. I never do.
Oh, I don't either.
Freaking amazing. I can't wait to see any other trailers they come out with. And speaking of great actors, Roger Moore passed away just a few days ago.
Rest in peace.
I know, Roger Moore, the former James Bond.
Sir Roger Moore.
I know, Roger Moore was freaking great, man. He was freaking awesome. I loved him. My favorite James Bonds is going to have to be Roger Moore, Sean Connery, and I'm going to have to put in there, I remember as a kid in the 80s, Timothy Dalton with the License to Kill and the Living Daylights. And then, of course, Pierce Brosnan as James Bond in GoldenEye. And the actor that picked up playing him in Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Just, Roger Moore, I think I got his thing up right here. I did like watching Live and Let Die, The Spy Who Loved Me, and Moonraker. Moonraker was my favorite with Roger Moore, man.
Oh, that was a really good one.
Yeah. That sucks that he ended up dying. I want to throw this picture up.
But you know what? You look at it, though, he got a nice long life. He passed away at age 89 from issues with cancer. And just to see, though, all his work he did, it's just amazing because he had a nice long life and a nice long career that people don't really realize. And, Roger Moore was probably one of my top 3 James Bonds, in my opinion. He was my number 2 because number 1 for me has to be Sean Connery. I love Sean Connery and everything about Sean Connery. And, our condolences go out to to Roger Moore's family.
Yes.
I know they're probably grieving right now, but just know, he entertained a lot of people and touched a lot of people, and he got to live a nice long life. So, and actually, one of our listeners here on the live broadcast, Daniel Craig,
yes,
was the name of the actor who played in Casino Royale.
Yes, Daniel Craig. And speaking of great actors, Tom Hardy. He's one of my favorite actors, Tom Hardy.
Oh, I already know what you're going to talk about.
Yes. If you have not heard, 2 days ago. Now, I got to say is they've been talking about this since 2007, after 2007, with Spider-Man 3. After that ended, they talked about doing a Venom spinoff. Well, guess what? It is finally going to happen, and look who they've got to play Venom. You got Tom Hardy right there on his Twitter for Sony Pictures right there, sporting the Venom shirt. Right here in this article for comingsoon.net. Tom Hardy is to play Venom, and Ruben Fleischer is to direct. Sony Pictures have officially announced and officially signed Tom Hardy to play Eddie Brock Venom and the Venom spinoff. But here's the thing. What's that?
I'm very excited for this because if you look at it with Ruben Fleischer, he did Zombieland. He did Gangster Squad. Like, that is a great director. Mm-hmm. And Tom Hardy, who honestly, if you look at one of the very last really good comic book villains that he played, look what he did with Bane.
Bane, yeah. You know.
It's amazing. I cannot wait for this.
You tried to get me, Batman. That's my Bane impersonation.
I was fooled by it. I did not know the light till I was a man. I tell you what, great actor. He's honestly one of my favorites. Yes. And I'm just so excited to see what this is going to produce. And I love that, you see not only Marvel but DC, both of them are just digging deep to really bring out some great characters they've had in their comic book lines back from the Silver Age, the Golden Age. It's just great to see that. Now you're going to see Venom. There's still rumblings that eventually they're going to do a Carnage movie.
Yes.
And if they do, they probably should cast, a true Carnage like Chris Carnage,
Yes.
Just saying. to the movie heads listening out there, Chris Carnage is up for the role of Carnage. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You should play Carnage. One interesting thing about this, one thing I don't like is that, for the fact of the matter is, this will not tie into the current Marvel Universe with the new Spider-Man, which is played by Tom Holland. What's good about this is the script is written by Scott Rosenberg, who did Pain and Gain and Jumanji, and Jeff Pinsker, who did Amazing Spider-Man 2, will pen the script for the Venom film, which is set for October 5th of 2018. Right there. Tom Hardy as Venom, man. That cannot get any better than that right there.
That's going to be amazing.
It is
I
going
tell
to
you
be
what.
It is going to be amazing, man. It definitely is going to be amazing with what's going on with the upcoming movies. And
But did you hear what happened with the Justice League?
yes, I did, and I was about to get to that because I have the article right here.
Great minds think alike.
Yes, go ahead and start it off while I pull it up here.
Well, the Justice League director, Zack Snyder, who was in charge of Justice League and where that was going to be going, has decided to step down as the director of Justice League due to a horrific family tragedy with his daughter's suicide. And our condolences go out to the Snyder family of that loss. There's nothing I wish on anybody to have to bear a loss of a child. But Zack Snyder, we wish you well. We wish you peace of mind. We wish that you make it through this grieving process. We know it's going to be hard. But they turned the reins of Justice League over to who other than Joss Whedon.
That's right. Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon has directed good TV shows. He directed one of my favorite TV shows back in the day, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and the spin-off show Angel.
I watched both.
I did too, man. I did too. Joss Whedon also responsible for the Avengers, the first and he did the second one, didn't he? No, just the first one. No, yeah, he did do both of them. Well,
Yeah, he did both.
yeah, he's going to be finishing up the Justice League. Everything's going to be the same. He's just stepping in and filling in for Zack Snyder and finishing up the film and finishing up
just the
everything.
post-production.
Yeah, and the bonus production. That's right. There is some good bonus production that he's basically come aboard to do. And I think no other person can actually do a good group superhero movie than Joss Whedon, because look what he did with the Avengers. Every Avenger, every character in that franchise shined on their own because thanks to the talented directing and writing of Joss Whedon. And it's going to be awesome because he's going to direct that and he's going to finish that up because I guess, the whatever part and wherever they're at, you can tell that Whedon is basically just he's going to kill it, man. He's going to bring it to the table like he did with the Avengers.
Oh, he's an amazing director.
Mm-hmm. He is.
And I expect really good things out of him because, ever since he did Buffy and Angel, I was already sold on him. And just to see everything he's done since, it's just been truly amazing. When he came out the cult classic Firefly, and now he ended up doing the Avenger movies, and then now he's going to be finishing up everything with Justice League. I gotta imagine what's running through his head. You're being involved as a director for two of the biggest superhero groups there is on both sides of the aisle between Marvel and DC. Imagine how that must feel.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's fantastic that you did Marvel, now you're doing DC. It can't get any better than that because of the range that this director has, and he's come a long way. Like we mentioned about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, and of course back in the early '90s when he did the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, which came off. Without that, we wouldn't have the Buffy Vampire Slayer and the Angel TV shows based on
and that pretty much also, you think about it, look at Joss Whedon. He made that movie, he turned around, he ended up being awarded with a series which made the careers of Sarah Michelle Gellar, Allison Hannigan, what's his name that played Angel, David Boreanaz.
He went on the Bones.
Yeah, and yeah, he would end up going on to Bones and all that. So it's just amazing to see what he's been involved in. And then, of course, with Firefly and everybody like Nathan Fillion, who was involved with that production. And it's just amazing to see everything he's done. And then be able to be given the majestic reins of the Avengers and part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's just a testament to show, you keep plugging away and just really being creative and just staying to what you know and what you do, and then trying to experiment on top of it and just expand it. You're just going to make better and better productions.
Yeah, you definitely are. And one production I don't want to see happening is, you heard about Resident Evil, didn't you?
I mean, do we have to talk about it?
Yes, I want to bring this up. Resident Evil movies are getting a reboot. That's right, Resident Evil. It was just announced by the German production company, Constantine Films, that the chairman of the board confirmed the news to Variety at the Cannes Film Festival this past weekend that the trades add details such as the director, stars, and how the reboot will fit in the franchise are being kept under wraps. They are going to reboot. I know. You don't need to reboot freaking Resident Evil. It's good, It is freaking good. You got this franchise.
I thought it was really good starting out. Then I felt like they had a lot, because they were trying to drag out and make money like they do with everything these days, that there was a certain amount of blandness, and then it kind of picked up steam again. And I feel like they're kind of ending it right, but now you're going to go back and reboot it?
Yeah.
Why?
They want to freaking reboot it. It's like they got nothing else better to do. It's like, hey, let's reboot this movie. Hey, let's reboot this. Hey, let's reboot that. Let's pour in.
Because they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, let us pour in millions and millions of dollars into a franchise that exists, and let's reboot it again. It was been almost 7 years since the first Resident Evil, and you're already talking about rebooting it? Come on,
I think
Hollywood.
it's been longer than that.
Yeah, well, it came out in 2000. I think 2000, 2001, somewhere in there. 8 years.
16, 17.
Yeah.
15 years. Come on.
I know. And they want to freaking, let's reboot it, Let's reboot it. Why don't you pour the damn money into some original stories and original productions and some good stuff, besides trying to waste money and refreshing up a franchise that does not need to be refreshing up probably in the next 50 years.
Right.
That's what pisses me off, man. It's just, I'm just like,
I know it would be interesting, though, because I know they are keeping a lot of aspects of it under wraps. Imagine if they were to go back and really follow the storyline of the games.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know about you, but
Chris, you are cutting out again. I am losing you, buddy. I am losing you. I lost you. Chris, come back. Come back, Chris. Come back, Chris. Chris is cut out. I don't know. There's some technical difficulty going on with probably with Skype, but his mic cut out, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's on my end or his end or what. We're still live, which is great, but I don't know what the hell's going on.
What about now?
Yeah, I hear you now. What the hell's going on, man? It's raining.
I don't know. I went and plugged my mic and replugged it in, and now it's working. So
there you go. Kids been messing with the mic again.
Maybe they like to sing into it a lot. So
yeah. Well, like you were saying before you cut out.
Yeah, I just feel like if they were to follow the storyline of the original games, right. Follow the story of Claire Redfield, of Leon. There's so much story there. Mm-hmm. It was really amazing what the games were able to put out there. And I feel like if they were just to follow that storyline, that they would be able to really make an amazing production. Mm-hmm. But follow that storyline.
Yes, definitely follow that storyline. If they did follow that storyline, there's so much that can happen, and it would be fantastic for good storytelling and what is already established. It's like what you've seen and played. It would be nice to see that established and turned into seeing it live action.
Absolutely.
It definitely would be. Since we're already talking about gamings, should we bring it up?
I think we should.
We should bring it up. We definitely should. We are going to have our first top 5 of the night.
Top 5.
Top 5. Top 5. Let me pull this up. I got a graphic for that or a wording, lettering. Bam! There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our top 5 for the Everett Lee Show. This is our top 5 of the night. We said not one tonight, but 2 top 5s. Here's your first one, ladies and gentlemen. Since we're talking
Top
about
5
gaming,
round 1.
What's that?
Top 5 round 1.
Yes, top 5 round 1. Fight. All right, let me blow this up here. Here we go. Your ELS top 5 of the night right there, ladies and gentlemen. This top 5 is going to consist of upcoming
over there?
Must be something in my damn drink. It got spiked. Oh!
Yeah.
Top 5 new video game releases or upcoming video game releases. Me and Chris were looking at the video game releases coming up, man. And we are so excited on what is going to be released this year for video gaming. Chris, what you started off while I get my list up?
I tell you what, there's so many good ones that it's really kind of hard to narrow everything down to a dedicated top 5. Number wise, though, I'm just going to throw these all out as equal platformed titles. So in my group of 5 here, I am going to throw out one that I'm really, really excited for, and that is Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yes.
You know, it's supposed to have an expanded campaign mode, which they did not have in any of the other Battlefront games. They're supposed to be having actual dedicated deep space style battles, so you'll be able to battle in a fully navigable area that's actually in a 3D environment rather than just over in the air over a landscape. No, you're in space. Enjoy.
Yes.
And what's beautiful about it is it's going to coincide with the release because it comes out, I think, roughly about 1 month or 3 weeks or 1 month right before Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. So expect lots and lots of DLC. Expect lots of different inspiration from all different eras of Star Wars. It's really going to be an amazing game.
Yes, it definitely is going to be an amazing game. I played Battlefront. I really did enjoy that. The demo, I enjoyed that, but I didn't want to end up spending the money and the extra for like the content because there was so much stuff going on at the time for me for gaming. I didn't want to spend the extra cash and everything for the
like
extra
Destiny.
Yeah, like Destiny. I'll get more to that here in a little bit. But yeah, I just did not want to. I didn't want to spend the money into it. I played it and I loved it, and I wish they would have did things different on what you can get out of the game. But that was the route they picked, and I'm not going to knock them for it though. But I enjoyed.
It was
playing.
still good. But
Yeah, it was still good. It was so good, and people I talked with that played the game, they loved it. They said, "Dude, you got to get the game because it's so damn good." And
oh yeah.
yeah,
And I feel like, honestly, with a lot of the gripes that they had in the first one, they're going to fix with the second one. So I have a lot of high expectations for this one.
Yes, they definitely are going to fix that. I'd have to say one game I'm really looking forward to that is coming out, and it's actually coming out. Actually, it already came out. I'd like to get my hands on it right now, and that is Injustice 2. I want to get my hands on that right there.
I heard it was amazing.
Oh yeah, it was freaking amazing. It was really amazing, and I definitely would love to get my hands on that, and I'd love to play that, man.
Oh yeah.
What else you got?
And for my next entry, I'd have to. This is one that's kind of near and dear to me. A lot of people are going to think whatever they want to think, but South Park: The Fractured Butthole. I love South Park. You can ask. There's actually one of the writers for Pigskin Chronicle, Dave Maynard, who knows just how deeply I love South Park. I have the first 15 seasons on DVD. That's right, not 1, not 5, not 10, 15 seasons on DVD. I don't even watch them because I just keep them for a collection. But I had the last one, The Stick of Truth. That was a really good game. I enjoyed every aspect of it, the storytelling, the traveling, the getting all the different items. But this one is supposed to expand even more. So it's supposed to have a very in-depth storyline, very in-depth gameplay, with their turn-based, almost RPG-style battle system. It's really good. They've been doing a really great job with this, so really excited to see that one when it comes out.
I definitely am. I love South Park. I definitely do love South Park. And one game I am definitely looking forward to, which has to do with smashing and grabbing people and, just kind of like almost like a GTA type style almost, but you get to play it from 2 points of views. And that would have to be Friday the 13th, the game, which comes out on May 26th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
This Friday. I cannot wait to get my hands on Friday the 13th, the game. If you saw the footage they had out last year for E3, that was amazing, man. That was. Oh, yeah. It looked really good.
Mm-hmm. You can play from two parts. You can play from the camper's point of view, where you're trying to get away and trying to survive from Jason and not try to attract too much attention to where he can hunt you down and kill you with little objectives along the way. And then the other point of view, which I think is going to be fun, is you get to play from Jason's point of view, where you get to track down the counselors and you get to kill them in certain different ways. One of the ways I liked was the sleeping bag to the tree.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that was my favorite out of Friday the 13th Part 6, and I cannot wait to at least try that on a camp counselor.
Now, my next one, honestly, is one that's pretty much of nostalgia inspire, and that's going to be Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy coming out for PlayStation 4. I'm really excited. I don't know about you, but back in the day, I ran Crash Bandicoot like it was no tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm excited to see this game get a remaster and come out with this, and have all aspects of all the games that they had for it. It's going to be really exciting. Tons of nostalgia. Mm-hmm. Looks really good.
Oh, yeah. It does. I remember playing the hell out of Crash Bandicoot. I loved playing the first and second one. I had fun. I almost burned up my PlayStation playing that game, man, because it's so much damn fun playing Crash. I mean, you could not get enough of it. And I would love to get a hold of a used copy. I still got my old PS2. I would love to get a hold of a copy of that, of the old Crash Bandicoot, because the PS2, what I liked about it was you were able to play PlayStation 1 games.
You might be in luck.
Mm-hmm. It was the first one to actually, a system at the time, I guess, to have the backward capability of playing PS1 games. And I'd definitely love to get a hold of an old copy of Crash Bandicoot and fire up the old PS2 and play that, man.
Well, you're in luck, because I think I actually might have a copy.
Really? That's awesome.
Just saying.
Gonna hit you up for that, man.
Don't let Mrs. Lee hear that.
Hopefully she won't hear it. She ain't watching tonight. She'll probably watch the rerun, but it'll be already too late. I'm gonna have to go with my number 2 game. I'm waiting forward to see and waiting for the release of is Red Dead Redemption 2, which got pushed back. It's supposed to come out this fall, this year, but it got pushed back to 2018 because they want to make sure the game is right with coding and everything that goes on into making a video game. They've been working long and hard on this game for the last few years, but they want to make sure it's right and make sure there's no bugs in it, make sure everything is ready to go for a spring of 2018. And I'll just have to wait, man, but there's plenty of things for me to do while I wait for Red Dead Redemption, and I'll get to that here in a moment. Chris?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that as your number 2 because it is also my number 2. Because Red Dead Redemption is going to be really great. Honestly, I'm glad they're taking the time to make sure that every little bug and every little thing is perfect with this game. Mm-hmm. Because this game, if nobody played Red Dead Redemption 1, it was an amazing game unto itself, and honestly was somewhat ahead of its time. And I'm really happy to see that it get the massive facelift to a new gen console. I'm really excited to see what they do with this one. It's going to be really exciting.
Mm-hmm. My number 1 game I'm waiting for, which comes out in September, on September 7th or 8th. I can't think of which day. Somewhere around there, it's going to have to be Destiny 2. Last week, I saw the video game footage they streamed. Bungie streamed it on their Twitch channel. Oh, my God, man. It's going to be good because the story, like I've mentioned to people I play with on Destiny, on the PS4. I said, okay, with the DLC they've released, we had the first DLC that had to deal with the Hive. The second one we had to deal with the Fallen. The third DLC had to kind of deal with a new enemy called the Taken, which was kind of a mixture of like the father of Oryx. I mean, the father of Crota, excuse me, Oryx, possessing Hive and Cabal, and you got the Taken. And Vex too. But this, with the last story that came out, it had to do with the Siva infected Fallen. That was pretty amazing, all the DLC and everything. And I always said to people, I said, I want to see something on the Cabal. I mean, we did get a story with the raid with the Vex on with the first raid that was released, but I wanted to something. I wish they would release a DLC with Cabal. My dreams came true because basically the Cabal is the one that's taken out the tower, taken out the Guardians, taken their powers away. With basically your character is left with nothing. You got to rebuild, regain everything on new planets, new worlds with new enemies, some old enemies, and new subclasses, new abilities, new weapons, new raid, new strikes, new everything, man. This is a whole basically reboot. You start from scratch and you rebuild back yourself, your Guardian back up to what they are. If it's Titan, Hunter, or Warlock. And the gameplay footage and what they're doing with the mechanics, how they switch everything around in Destiny 2 is really fantastic. I'm looking forward to this. I'm definitely looking forward to the beta that comes out this summer. If you pre-order right now, you do get early access to the beta with some good goodies. So I'm looking forward to that.
It sounds pretty awesome. But you know what? There's one title I'm waiting for that was announced, obviously, not too awfully long ago, and that's going to be coming out this November. Call of Duty WW2. I'm really excited for this one. It's returning back to World War II, which was an awesome theater when it comes to gaming just because of weaponry, battle tactics, and everything and the like. And there's a lot of rumblings, too, along with this because Activision's been very, very busy this year, you know, with them announcing Zombie Chronicles, the expansion for Black Ops 3. Of course, a lot of people keep forgetting this one just because they came out with Modern Warfare Remastered last year. Modern Warfare 2 Remastered will be coming out at some point because that's already been confirmed by Activision. A lot of people think it might be an add-on to Call of Duty WW2. So we'll have to wait and see. And I really, really hope they put out MW2 Remastered with WW2 just because all I know is Modern Warfare 2 back in the day took so much of my life that it's going to do it again.
That is awesome, man. Yeah, Modern Warfare, that was a fun game. I played that. I played like the Call of Duties and stuff, but the Modern Warfare, I definitely do like the World War II theme. That was really fantastic being right there, you know, being on the front like in the overseas in Japan, being in there and over in Germany during World War II was just fantastic stuff, and the weapons you got to use for that game.
Oh, yeah. And if you ever got to play World at War, which was the last World War II installment they had, that was such a wonderful game. You had the introduction of Nazi zombies. That's when it first came out, and it's been a phenomenon ever since. And it was just a great game, but now it's just great to see them come back to it. You know, one of the first missions is supposed to be you storming the beaches, I think, of not of Normandy, but of Omaha Beach. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be a really, really amazing and in-depth game. So really excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I definitely am. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this and how it's going to look on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there is our first top 5 out of the 2 top 5s we have tonight. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, what else do we have on the table right now?
Oh, man. All kinds of stuff. I mean, you know what? We got anybody calling in yet?
Yeah, we need some people to call in. We want to hear your thoughts tonight. 386-206-1595. Call us, let us know what movie you're looking forward to this week and what type of video game you're looking forward to coming out here soon. Give us a call. Let us know what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know.
Do it.
Do it. That's right, man. Do it.
Oh, man. But now we finally got to get to the one thing we love talking about more than anything.
Yes. Yes. Let me hit some music for that. What do we going to be talking about, Chris?
All kinds of stuff to talk about. This was a very loaded weekend of wrestling, I tell you what.
Oh, yes,
From
it was.
NXT Takeover, Chicago to Backlash to Raw to SmackDown. 4 straight days of wrestling. And if you take in some of the UK special they had, it was 5 days of wrestling. So WWE's working a little bit of overtime.
Yeah, they definitely did. And I do want to mention this. They did this past weekend on this Saturday. We did have NXT Chicago. And then we had, of course, WWE on the SmackDown brand. We had Backlash. And with that, a lot of stuff happened. I will get into Backlash here in a moment. Let's briefly run over NXT TakeOver Chicago. We had 5 solid matches, Chris. We had 5 solid matches. Let's start with
solid doesn't describe it well enough.
Yes. NXT definitely delivered with their 5 matches. The first match that we saw starting off this pay-per-view in Chicago, the house was packed for NXT TakeOver Chicago. The first match started off, we had Eric Young with his Sanity crew members going up against Roderick Strong. I love how the match started out because Eric Young comes out to the ring and he's sitting there waiting for Roderick Strong, and all of a sudden Roderick Strong don't come out to the ramp. He comes out through the crowd and he takes out Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane and goes full force onward like a man on a mission, focused, determined to take down Eric Young. What'd you like about that match?
Oh, any and everything about it. I tell you, it was a very solid match. Eric Young and Roderick Strong are both amazing talents, and I just love that they're bringing these two in right. You know, they let Eric Young have his own stable of people with Sanity. Roderick Strong just came in not too long ago and is already showing that he's definitely up to snuff to be able to hang with all these guys in NXT. But I got to tell you one thing about that match. I loved the finish.
Yes.
It was like a Falcon Arrow lung blower. I loved it. It was so entertaining, and it was perfect ending to what was a really great match.
Yes, and it ended, I'd have to say, for right now, it ended the rivalry because Roderick Strong did what Ty Dillinger could not do, and it was defeat Sanity. So
that's right.
We don't know if Eric Young is going to move on or anybody else is going to get in the way of Sanity, though. But I'm hoping I can see Roderick Strong move on and kind of like go up and try to go after a title. Go after the title. I'd love to see that. But
the
second match of the year.
That's my match of the year candidate right there, and my match of the year choice. That Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate for the United Kingdom Championship was one of the most entertaining matches that I have seen in an extremely long time. Pete Dunne, you know, a lot of people have their viewpoints on Pete Dunne and how he carries himself in the backstage area, and a lot of people love Tyler Bate. A lot of people think Tyler Bate's a little young, though, but honestly, both of them came and really brought it and really entertained the crowd. You literally left me on the edge of my seat. And I haven't had a match literally take my breath away in probably a decade. And it was just so great to see the amount of athleticism, the amount of passion, the determination by both of the wrestlers. And when you watch the whole ending of the match, you just never know who's going to pull it off. There was so much going on, so much back and forth. That's why it's my match of the year choice. It was just so highly entertaining. So if you haven't seen it, go on to WWE Network. If you don't have it, buy it just so you can see this match, because I tell you what, it is more than worth it. 5-star match. I just want to see him do it again.
I do. I do like how the moves they traded off back and forth towards the end of the match and stuff. That was pretty amazing. And I was happy. Yeah, I'm happy that Pete Dunne won that championship. He was my favorite. Remember last week I talked about it. I said he was my pick, and he was also McShaft's pick for winning the UK championship, and it was awesome to see that he won it. And
and I know I picked Tyler Bate to win that match, but you know what? I will proudly eat my words just because of how amazing that match was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was awesome. It was basically really, really good, and I loved that match. Second match we had was supposed to be a fatal 4-way, but it ended up being a triple threat. You had Asuka defending the NXT Women's Championship against Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott. Ember Moon watched on with her broke shoulder, watching the match, and I know she was disappointed because we talked about this, that when she got injured, when she got thrown like a dart by Asuka,
so graphic,
and into the barricade, you could hear the snap, man. And that
was the nastiest pop, and you only hear that when you hear somebody injure their shoulder like that, because like you said, she was thrown like a damn lawn dart, and when she hit so hard, you heard that pop, you knew something was wrong. And I know she was in tears when they were carrying her out of there, and she's a phenomenal talent that I feel like might actually have it to be able to dethrone Asuka, but with her not being able to wrestle, I don't see anybody being able to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the match went back and forth. There were some botches there at the beginning of it, but as soon as the talent got their footing into what was going on during the match, it turned out to be pretty damn good because Asuka, she had some one-on-one moments with Ruby Riott, and then she had a one-on-one moments with Nikki Cross, and then we got to see one-on-one moments with Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross, and then back and forth it went. And the finish I thought was awesome, how Asuka ended up pinning both of them at the same time and retaining her.
But I feel really put that exclamation point on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's not losing that title anytime soon. She is definitely not.
And she's already over like 170 or 180 victories, and she recently surpassed Bill Goldberg for longest undefeated streak. So I'm really excited to see who is actually going to unseat her.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely am gonna looking forward to seeing who will, defeat Asuka, because she is such a talent, man. She definitely is such a talent.
But you know what? I feel like Ember Moon could possibly be the one to do it, but like I said, she has to get healthy first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does. She does. I look forward to Ember Moon coming back around SummerSlam, around NXT Brooklyn, and Takeover Brooklyn, and going after Asuka. And then also, I want to throw this out here later about information and the name and update on this summer on the 32 competitors women tournament that the
huge
WWE
update.
Network will be hosting this summer, like they did last year with the Cruiserweight Classic. We'll get more onto that after we get through this coverage on wrestling. I want to give a quick shout out on the live chat here to everyone that's viewing right now. See the link on the screen there on the viewers and listeners. You can support us on Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/ELS_DT. You support the Everett Lee Show and Draft Tuesday. You'll be able to get early access to podcasts the day before that they released on Friday. So be sure to head over there and check that out. Next match that we got, man, on Chris is we had the... It was weird how they did this, though, but it made sense after what I saw in the last match.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what.
Bobby Roode defending the NXT Championship against Hideo Itami. And I mentioned this last week. I said Hideo Itami, if you got the audio version last week of the podcast after we lost our live stream view on Facebook, I mentioned that Hideo Itami was supposed to have his push when Finn Balor got it, because if Hideo Itami didn't get injured, it would have been his push and not Finn Balor's. But
that's right.
He got his shot at Bobby Roode. What'd you think about some of the moments and spots in this match, man?
I thought it was pretty good. You can definitely tell Hideo Itami still has some rust that he's trying to work through, having separated shoulder the way he did and then suffering a concussion and all that. He had a really bad string of bad luck, but overall, though, the match is very solid. Hideo Itami and Bobby Roode worked each other very, very well. It was very highly entertaining. Mm-hmm. It just stinks, though, because I feel like with Hideo Itami being injured the way he was, that he might be viewed as injury-prone, and that might be the reason he might not have went over. But he's still a great talent nonetheless, and he'll get his due eventually.
Yeah, he definitely will. He definitely will. He did give Bobby Roode a run for his money with some of the stuff that he did, and I do want to mention that I loved it, and I was rooting for Hideo, but that didn't happen, and I just cannot wait to see who's going to be stepping up and challenging Bobby Roode next for the NXT Championship. I mean, Hideo did give it all that he had, and I do like the finish with the double glorious DDTs, man.
Oh, and they were nasty.
Oh, God, they were. They definitely were. And we had the main event, which was the NXT Tag Team Championships. We had the Authors of Pain defending the Tag Team Championships against DIY. There was a lot of good moments in this match. The crowd was so fired up, and they want to see DIY defeat the Authors of Pain to take the Tag Team Championships. But that didn't happen, man. I thought they had it.
No, it did not.
They didn't. I thought they had it, especially when they were hanging on to the titles, when they got the ladders, when they were up there on the ladder, man, and they were about to pull the titles off, and Authors of Pain just jumped up and kicked the ladders out from underneath them. And
oh, yeah.
And then the Collider and double power bomb. And then, Authors retained the Tag Team Championship, man. What do you think about that?
I can't say I was surprised, honestly. Anybody you put up against the Authors of Pain is automatically going to be a mismatch. But what really caught me off guard more than the brutalization of Akam and Rezar, the Authors of Pain, of what they gave to DIY, but more what happened after the match, I think, was probably more shocking than anything.
Yes. After the match, the crowd chanted and cheered for DIY, and as Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were going up the ramp there, and they showed the copyright thing on the end of the at the bottom of the screen, and everybody's cheering for him. Tommaso grabbed Tommy and just threw him into the freaking side of into the LED lights, man. It was like everyone was shocked. Did you see people's expression on their faces? Like, oh my God, what is happening? What am I seeing right now?
Oh, if you go to WWE.com's website, they have photos of the fans reacting, and everybody is in just utter shock. Some are in disgust. So many boos. No one thought that Tommaso Ciampa would turn on Johnny Gargano, but at the end of the day, if you can't get the job done, maybe you got to do it yourself. So maybe that's what Tommaso's thinking. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling maybe we'll find out a lot more on the next NXT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that really got me, man. That I could not believe that happened, and it's gonna make some really, really good story, man. It definitely is gonna make for some really, really good story with what's
absolutely
happening. Yeah, with everything that's going on with Tommaso and it's gonna be great because I want to see, we're going to see the story build up. We're going to see if he's going to get any retribution for what Ciampa did to him, to Johnny.
Yeah, don't surprise to see a singles match possibly at the next Takeover.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're definitely going to see that. All in all, I give NXT Takeover Chicago. I give it out of a scale of 1 to 10. I give it a solid 9. What about you, Chris?
I give it a solid 9.5, honestly. The only thing that I feel like kept it from getting a perfect 10 was the beginning of the women's match. But honestly, it was a really great show from beginning to end. And, only 5 matches. And it's funny how NXT sometimes just happens to outshine the WWE pay-per-view the next night. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it definitely did. NXT TakeOver, nothing less, nothing short, nothing over the top, just good, solid wrestling.
Way it should be.
Yes, the way it should be. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. We got WWE Backlash, man. We got Backlash. And there was a backlash. If you did see this pay-per-view, there was a huge backlash. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce and show you the new WWE champion. Let me do it like Paul Heyman. The new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Jinder Mahal. There's your new WWE champion right there, Jinder Mahal. Or is that Prince Hubba? There's your new WWE champion.
No, wait, that's Habibu.
Yeah.
Habibu.
Jinder Mahal, ladies and gentlemen, is your new WWE champion. And there he is right there. So stand up and enjoy and celebrate the Raja Mahala.
Goodness, I honestly cannot do one. It still pains me.
Oh, I had to do that, man. I had to do that. Remember when I sent that to you? You're like, oh, my God. And you said your wife looked at it, and she's like, I don't get it.
Oh, yeah, and I explained it to her. She's like, oh, yeah.
WWE Backlash happened this Sunday. It was a decent pay-per-view. It wasn't,
Better than I thought.
It was better. SmackDown usually do host the better pay-per-views, and all I got to say is the SmackDown pay-per-views remind me of watching WWE SmackDown, but with just a little bit longer, more wrestling and more story. What's going on? Unlike Raw, SmackDown is developing stories and stuff you want to come back to next week and say, I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see what's going to happen. After the results of this pay-per-view, I definitely wanted to see what was going to happen on Tuesday. I definitely did. It kept my interest, and I love that. First match, we had Shinsuke Nakamura make it his main roster debut match.
Finally.
In this pay-per-view against Dolph Ziggler. What'd you think about that match?
Honestly, I thought it was a very entertaining match. I'm a huge Shinsuke Nakamura fan, just as much as I'm actually a huge Dolph Ziggler fan. Mm-hmm. They both came together. When I heard that they were going to be working this program together for Shinsuke Nakamura's debut, I loved it. You cannot beat a guy like Dolph Ziggler. He makes everybody look better, makes everybody's moves look better. He's a consummate gentleman and a consummate wrestler. I was really excited to see this match, and it did not. It did not. It did not. Let me say it one more time. It did not disappoint. And it was funny because a lot of people were complaining that, well, Shinsuke Nakamura is on the poster for this show. Why are you having him open? The reason they had them open this show is because of the NBA playoffs with the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That game did not start till 8:30. The pay-per-view started at 8. So WWE wanted to capitalize and make sure that people saw this match.
Yes.
And it did not disappoint.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. The King of Strong Style. They call him a rock star and artist. He's still the King of Strong Style. When I was at NXT live in Daytona Beach a few weeks ago, they were sitting there talking to the crowd and stuff. They're like, who's going to win at Backlash? Is it Dolph Ziggler or the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura? And I yelled, King of Strong Style, not artist. And people just looking, like, what's that? It's like, well, actually, people did know what I was talking about. It's not the casuals that go.
Well, I would hope.
Yeah. So, people noticed what I was talking about. But yeah, the artist, come on now, man. It's the freaking King of Strong Style. And he did use those kicks during that match against Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler did feel it. And I loved how the match ended. I loved the finish to that.
Oh, the finish was amazing.
Mm-hmm. What other, I'm trying to think of the order of the matches. We'll probably bounce around here. Then we had...
tag titles.
Yes, we had the tag title match. Breeze Dango with Tyler Breeze and Fandango against the Usos. And all I got to say is I love the Usos. Since they turned heel, they are such a good heel tag team, man. They don't give a damn. I love that persona and that attitude that they carry. What did you think about this match?
I honestly thought it was incredibly goofy in a myriad of ways. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, nothing against the Fashion Police, nothing against Breezango. I think honestly they're both pretty decent talents, especially Tyler Breeze. But I feel like WWE just doesn't know what to do with them, and that's even the reason why they are together. Mm-hmm. The match overall was okay at best. I love the Usos. I think they are great as heels, just like you mentioned. But overall, the match I give it like a C+.
Yeah.
I feel like it was more used as filler than anything, just because I feel like they're honestly just holding off until a certain Kingston is back to full health, so a certain day can come back and maybe challenge for the tag titles.
You don't have to tell me anymore, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. I do have to say that I did. What'd you think about the crowd when they were Tyler Breeze was dressed up as the janitor with the mop? Now tell me that was not funny when I don't know if it was Jimmy or Jay charged him and he did some kind of like Mr. Miyagi thing. He tripped over the mop and fell into the thing into the turnbuckle. The crowd.
It was pretty innovative. I thought it was kind of funny. It's cool when you can fit in comedy bits like that into a match, but it definitely was entertaining in that manner.
Yeah, it was entertaining. It was entertaining because Tyler Breeze played the mind games, which was funny because I liked it when he got his butt knocked out, and then Jimmy and Jay went up. One of the Usos went up to do to jump off the rope. He rolls over, and he's sitting there and he's getting mad, and he goes over to the other side. And then he rolls back over, and he rolls back over, and he's sitting there, and he's like, you could tell he's getting frustrated. That's what I loved about it. He got in his head. And the crowd was chanting for the damn mop, man.
Now, when you can get a fan base to chant for a mop, you're doing something right.
Perry Saturn did it.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, you did. That's what it reminded me of in those days. And one thing was when he dressed up like Grandma, and they're like, let's go, Grandma.
That part I loved.
That was hilarious. I think that what I liked about it is they kind of let Tyler Breeze not be himself. I mean, well, they let him be himself a little, and it showed a side that I didn't know Tyler Breeze had. He could be funny and entertaining.
Absolutely. My thing is, though, like I said, I love Tyler Breeze. I love what he can do. I love what he brings to the table. And you're right, they definitely did let him open up. But I feel like he's still being underutilized. I feel like maybe they need to start pushing Tyler Breeze maybe into the secondary title scene.
Yes.
On his own.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do. And without any doubt, creative on SmackDown should have. I mean, how could you not took notice what Tyler Breeze did? I mean, he's fantastic talent in the ring. I seen him back when he was in NXT in a main event on a house show against Adrian Neville. They blew the roof off on a match. Fantastic talent, good wrestler, good in-ring performer, and seeing that extra side to him, he can actually not be serious, which basically made it just Tyler Breeze just even better. But the match,
absolutely.
It was a filler. It definitely was a filler.
It really was a filler, just to kind of fill space, just like I said, because they're just kind of biding their time with the tag titles right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then talk about titles. Usos didn't lose the titles; they retained the titles, just like you said, because we're waiting for a day when a team is going to come on the debut on SmackDown and going to challenge the Usos for those titles. The next title match,
exactly.
After that tag team title match, we had Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin. What'd you think about that?
Now that was a match,
mm-hmm.
And honestly, I really like these two together because sometimes you get a big man and a slightly smaller man together in a match. Sometimes they work well together. Sometimes they don't. Right. These two are two that work wonderfully together. Baron Corbin honestly just keeps building day by day and just keeps getting better and better like a fine wine. Mm-hmm. After a while, Baron Corbin's going to be back in the main event scene. Mm-hmm. But what's beautiful about it is that Sami Zayn is a guy who can honestly already be there. And just seeing what they did together was purely amazing. And it was, to an extent, very brutal because they did not pull any punches in this one. Of course, though, Sami Zayn went over Baron Corbin, which a lot of people also did not expect. So I was really happy to see that as well. But honestly, it was a great match by both competitors, and hopefully we'll see more of them in the future.
Yes, definitely. And then we had the women's tag, women's six women tag match. We had Naomi, Charlotte, Becky Lynch versus the Welcoming Committee with Natalya, Carmella, and Tanita, and then you had James Ellsworth outside the ring. That went, spots here and there and stuff. Everyone really did get to shine on what they, can do and stuff and everything. And the finish, what'd you think about that finish, man?
Definitely interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that finish, and it was one hell of a finish there with Carmella getting the pin, on Naomi.
Yeah, who would have thought that would have happened?
I know. Who would have thought that would have happened? I mean, it was entertaining. We're going to be more story built up in the next few weeks with that. That story's not over yet. And definitely now everyone is basically want to focus on going after Naomi for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Because we saw on SmackDown next week they're going to have a Fatal 5-Way for a number one contender match to face Naomi at whatever pay-per-view is coming up next. I believe No Mercy.
I believe either No Mercy or...
No, Money in the Bank. Excuse me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Money in the Bank because a lot of interesting information on that from the SmackDown side of things that we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Then we had, what other match did we have after the women's? We had
U.S. title match.
Yes, U.S. title, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens match. Fantastic in-ring match with everything going on. Just Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. I've been waiting for a while to see these two hook it up ever since back in Survivor Series last year when they were both champions and they were doing the SmackDown vs. Raw for Survivor Series. I was definitely looking forward to seeing these two finally hook up and get their hands on each other and see what kind of match. No pun intended. It was, to me, I thought it was phenomenal up until the until the finish. I did not like how the finish went down.
Yeah, I don't like seeing finishes like that. If people didn't get to watch it, Kevin Owens did win by count out over AJ Styles after he got out of the Styles Clash on the table and got AJ Styles' knee stuck in the monitor hole to kind of steal the victory away. Yeah. But honestly, it just kind of helped further Kevin Owens' heel character because look at his run as Universal Champion. He didn't win any match cleanly. Everything was by some type of dirty tactic, whether it be getting disqualified, count-outs, having someone help him, whether it be Jericho or whatever. And, I feel like they're still trying to continue that, show that Kevin Owens is really the heel in this scenario. I would have preferred a cleaner style finish, even if it would have been like a dirty pin or something, but, that's the route they went. So
Yeah, I didn't, I didn't like that, and I believe there's going to be more of the story for that one too. AJ, Owens, there's some heat built up there, and AJ is going to go after Owens and make sure he takes that U.S. title away from him, not unless we see Jericho come back anytime soon.
I mean, there's a lot of rumblings that from the rumor mill that Jericho's not going to be gone that long. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are expecting him to be making a comeback either by at the latest July, possibly in a build-up to that month's pay-per-view or even to SummerSlam, just because Jericho currently is on tour right now with Fozzy. They were going up to the Pacific Northwest last I checked. So who knows? I know a lot of people saw the beatdown that Kevin Owens gave him and took him out with that vicious attack with that chair.
Yes.
So I don't think things are going to be over yet. Honestly, I feel like Jericho may come back and win that title from him, and that might be what ends that feud. But, who knows? We'll see what Uncreative comes up with.
Yeah, definitely. And then we had, after the U.S. title match, another filler match. We had Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. That was good. It was just
better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was. It was a grudge match. Harper, he pulled out some spots. He got the crowd going and stuff because the crowd was kind of just, they wasn't really too alive after that, but Harper basically hyped him up, and he did, interact with the crowd. And then we seen Luke Harper ended up with the finish. It was a decent, good little grudge match, some good spots. Harper flying through the ropes, a big man like that, doing that stuff, and that's basically it. And it was good to see Harper. Haven't seen him in a while, and it was good to see him come out there and actually have a little spot on the pay-per-view. I thought this would be something you see on the kickoff show, which wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. Little thing right before the main event of Randy Orton defending the WWE Championship against the Maharaj, Jinder Mahal.
Before
I get into that, you want me to cheer you up about that? I can cheer you up about that, man.
I could use the cheering up.
You want to cheer up? Let me reorganize this logo right here because we have right here another top 5, ladies and gentlemen. This right here, Chris, this is an ELS exclusive top 5.
ELS exclusive. I love it.
Yeah, this is the exclusive right here. You're going to see scrolling on the page right here, viewing the live stream, ladies and gentlemen, is the top 5 Jinder Mahal memes that was put out. Not that right there. That's your top 5 thing. I have it right here. Where the hell is it? I have it right. Okay. All right, who's been messing with my computer? Who's been messing with my computer? Come on.
Wasn't me.
Okay, here it is, right here.
Talk to your assistant.
Right there. Snake Charmer Jinder Mahal.
So classic.
Pokemon Jinder Mahal. And of course, you got the celebrating popping my zits on my back Jinder Mahal. And then you got the Jinder Club based off the Bullet Club.
That's hilarious.
And you know what? He's so over Jinder Mahal. Why don't you just give him all the titles? Multi-belt wearing Jinder Mahal.
What the Triple H is going on here?
And then you got the Hulk Jinder Mahal. Right there. There's your top 5 memes of Jinder Mahal right there. Snake Charmer, the Orton looking like a with his head looking like a snake, and your Pokemon. Congratulations, your Ava Davari has evolved into a Jinder Mahal.
That's so good.
Yes. Unexpectedly, I thought Orton was going to retain. Didn't we talk about this last week? You thought Orton was going to retain. I wanted Orton to retain. McShaft said Mahal is going to get it. Well, McShaft was right. You know?
I think it came down to I was just trying to be hopeful because the only reason that Jinder Mahal won this title is just because WWE is trying to get ahead of the curve on their emerging market in India. Now, I don't blame them. You know, India has a population of 1.3 billion people, which is roughly 4 times more than we have here in America. So it makes sense to want to put the title on a guy like that and, you know, kind of help with that. And I get that. That's fine. And I really don't have an issue with Jinder Mahal being champion. You know, he's definitely been around long enough. He's put in the work. You know, he looks very, very, let's just say he looks very much like a Vince McMahon guy. But my problem is that you took a guy who hadn't won a match between September of 2016 and until sometime a little bit after WrestleMania. You have a superstar shakeup, bring him to SmackDown, where his first couple matches he loses, and the next thing you know, he's in a number 1 contender scramble that he wins, and now he's beating guys like AJ Styles, and then going over Randy Orton for the title. Like, how does that work? How do you take a guy who is a constant jobber, not an every now and then jobber, a legitimate constant jobber, to being your champion in a stretch of 6 weeks?
Yeah, I know. Does this mean that Heath Slater is now going to win like the Intercontinental title or the you know?
Screw that. He better become a Universal Champion, not the next pay-per-view. You know why? And you know why he should? Because he's got kids.
Yes, he has kids. He has kids. Hey, Slater got kids, man. He got to feed all those kids up in West Virginia. No offense, man.
He got an above-ground pool he wants to put in.
All I got to say about this match is the Singh brothers, man. I felt bad for them. You see that one get bounced off that damn table by Orton? And did you see...
You know what? It's funny when you saw Orton throw the guy up. He lands on his head, and you see the reaction Orton gives. It was one of those... There was no covering it up. He knows what he did.
Yeah, he did.
And you could see it plastered all over his face. I was like, my goodness, Randy Orton, way to be safe with the talent.
I know. I feel bad for the Oompa Loompas. I mean, the Singh brothers. Yes, Jinder Mahal did capture the WWE Heavyweight Championship. He did, and here again, here's your reigning WWE champion right here, ladies and gentlemen, right there. There is Jinder Mahal, your new WWE champion right there. Please support and show your gratitude to the Maharaja. Maharaja.
The Hubba Babala.
Hubba hubba
Hubba Bubba.
hubba 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 hubba
The Habibu.
ziggy bop did it bop. Oh my god, dude! I swear. Okay, I did run across this news. I do want to mention. Well, actually, first let me just mention this. Backlash, scale 1 to 10. What do you rate it?
Honestly, I give it like a 6.5. Maybe a 7.
Yeah. I give it about a 6. I mean, it was average. It was like right there in the middle. Nothing, like I said, like with the NXT Takeover, this pay-per-view, Backlash, SmackDown. I'm happy with SmackDown pay-per-views. They're a little bit better. I will say that this blows away House of Horrors and Payback, definitely. Yeah, Payback was a decent pay-per-view, except the House of Horrors match, which killed it. But
it destroyed it.
Yeah, what destroyed it. But with this one, this was decent. And SmackDown does deliver. And since you mentioned the next SmackDown pay-per-view is Money in the Bank, we will see Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura battle for that contract in the briefcase.
That is wonderful in my eyes, just because I feel like with that, you're pretty much going to be setting up no matter what for some great talent to really step up to the plate, whether it be AJ Styles finally getting back in the main event scene, whether it be Kevin Owens finally getting back into the main event scene, or you see a guy like Sami Zayn or even Shinsuke Nakamura bust onto the main event scene. No matter how you look at it, it's a great setup. And, and it really is going to come down to whoever wins the rematch between Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton.
Yes.
So whoever wins that versus whoever wins that Money in the Bank, I tell you what, it's going to be great. And, it might not happen right away. It might happen further down the line. Who knows, So Money in the Bank always adds a nice air of uncertainty when you have an uncreative that tends to be very predictable.
Yes, it is definitely going to be. My prediction is that we've talked about, we mentioned this before, the rumor mill going around online and what I've seen out of other wrestling talks, podcast on YouTube and stuff is the fact of the matter is that they're looking at Jinder's going to hold this title until a certain veteran comes back on SmackDown.
A certain someone you can't see.
Yeah, you can't see. But Jinder will definitely see this guy because he's going to be missing his title, and that's John Cena. They're speculating that John Cena is going to be coming back. He's going to go after Jinder because you know how you're getting a lot of USA chants in the crowd, and Jinder's, Cena's coming back. He's going to take that title from Mahal, and he's going to break Flair's 16-time title reign. With that,
apparently Ric Flair is also very supportive of it.
He is. He don't care if someone breaks this record, and Flair and Cena are good friends. I mean, they're really good, and Flair loves supports Cena, and he's they got a good relationship, and Flair don't care if Cena breaks his record, from what I understand and what we found out.
But you know what? What I would love to see?
What's that?
I would love to see John Cena go over Jinder Mahal. Everybody be shouting from the rooftops about how that 17th win, he breaks the streak, and then the Money in the Bank winner comes out, cashes in, and beats him for the title that night.
Dude.
I'd love to see that.
That would be something. Since we're talking about Money in the Bank, Jinder's gonna retain the title over Orton.
I agree.
Yeah, he had his. He'll probably be later on down the road. He'll capture that title again, but Jinder's gonna keep it. Cena's gonna beat him, and he's gonna take the title. Money in the Bank. Who out of all 6 of those people they announced, who do you think's gonna win it? I want to throw this out here to get you thinking. Last year, Dean Ambrose won it. We had a face win it. This year, I'm looking for a heel to win it. We got 3 of them. We got 3 good heels. We have Kevin Owens. We have Dolph Ziggler, who's a former Money in the Bank winner. Keep that in mind. And Baron Corbin. Out of those 3, or actually out of all 6, who do you think is going to win it?
Well, with Baron Corbin, I don't think Baron Corbin is going to go over quite yet. I still feel like they're trying to take their time with him and let him build more, especially with his momentum being kind of killed right now, having lost to Sami Zayn. With Dolph Ziggler, I think he's honestly, the vet in the match. He's the one that's kind of helped carry it, kind of make it look nice and flashy while still giving him the look of a push. But he won't go over. The same with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is U.S. champion, and he's going to have a lot of unfinished business to deal with when it comes to Chris Jericho and possibly even AJ Styles.
Right.
So I don't see Kevin Owens winning it. I really feel like it's going to come down to either Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, or Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, Shinsuke, I feel like, is still really, really fresh to the scene, so I don't feel like he's going to quite get that push yet. Maybe next year, but not right now. I'm honestly hoping AJ Styles wins it, but I could honestly see Sami Zayn winning it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to go with Baron Corbin because WWE right now is high on Baron Corbin, and he won the Andre Battle Memorial 2 years ago when he made his debut on the main roster the night after WrestleMania on Raw. I'm going to have to say he's put in the work. He's had some pretty good rivalries, and I believe it's going to be his time. Or I may go with Dolph Ziggler again. They may give Dolph that push that,
finally let him steal one.
Yeah, they're going to let him steal one. They're going to let him capture it and win, and then cash it in. And those are my two picks right there. If Shinsuke Nakamura wins it, dude, that's going to be freaking amazing, I like to see him tease, like he's going to come out and do it and everything and stuff. And then, kind of like, play head games because he's good at playing head games, believe it or not. I mean, if you
that would be entertaining.
Mm-hmm, that would be entertaining. I mean, look what he did to Samoa Joe in NXT during that rivalry. He got inside Joe's head and Joe about snapped. It would be entertaining. It definitely would be. Mm-hmm. What else did I want to mention about wrestling? Yeah, Backlash. I don't know if you know this or not, though, but did you know the finish in the last match, it was changed 2 hours before the pay-per-view?
Not surprised.
Yeah, it was. Originally, Orton was going to retain the WWE Championship, and he was going to drop it at Money in the Bank to guess who?
Who's that?
Rusev.
Ha!
Mm-hmm. That 2 hours before the pay-per-view, they changed WWE creative, and I guess Vince decided to, let's go ahead, pull the trigger, give him the belt, and let him run with it. I said this to my wife. I don't know if you agree with me. Right now, you know who the top heel is on SmackDown, don't you?
Who's that?
Jinder Mahal.
Well, of course. Nobody really wants him as champion.
Mm-hmm. Look at all the heat. Look at all the heat he gets, man. Look at it. He gets all the damn heat. He is the top heel. And he's good at it because I am liking a little bit of Jinder, little by little, because he can draw heat. And that's what a heel's supposed to do, right? He's supposed to draw heat from the crowd. He's supposed to, it's like he got there on SmackDown, and he's like, you all boo me and stuff, and you booed me when I was champion, but I am the Maharaj, and it's like, boo, it's like, he's riled up the crowd. He's doing his job, and that's basically what he's doing right now. He is the top heel. AJ Styles, to me, is the top face on SmackDown. There's your top face, and you got your top heel right there. And it's just how it is for me. It's just how it is. And I don't think I have anything else I want to throw out there on wrestling. What about you?
No, just because Raw and SmackDown both are very predictable. Obviously, we covered the Money in the Bank, so nothing else from SmackDown even needs to really be talked about at this point.
No.
And the only thing you can really even probably say about Raw that honestly was worth anything other than the snoring sounds coming from the room next door is the fact that Paul Heyman did confront Finn Balor.
That was the only interesting thing. That's it. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, top of the hour. You had you had Paul Heyman come out there and basically endorse and it looked like they were kind of pushing Finn Balor. That's it. About 10 o'clock, I looked into my wife. I go, I can't get into Raw tonight. And she said, what?
I turned it off.
I can't get into it. I said, I cannot get into it. I cannot get into Raw tonight. I said, this is so boring, man. So I turned it off, and I jumped on. I played Destiny. I'm sorry. It was so boring. I don't even know who won the main event, and I don't give a damn. I'll find out next week when they play the montage, where they say Roman Reigns about 50 times. Then I'll know who won.
Exactly. And what's crazy? The only other thing that was probably notable is the fact that Matt Hardy defeated Sheamus to choose the stipulation for the Raw Tag Team Championship match at Extreme Rules, which it will be the Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro in a steel cage match.
Ooh.
But that took all of 10 seconds to announce by the Broken Brilliance himself, Matt Hardy. So, Raw is honestly, even with all the talent that got shifted around, they are still the snoozer show and are still trailing SmackDown in the ratings.
Mm-hmm. They are. With everything low right now, they are trailing SmackDown. But SmackDown is basically, good. They got good story. I'm interested in SmackDown. I am a SmackDown person. I'm more interested in SmackDown because of everything they're going with and everything. Like I said before.
I'm a SmackDown Live guy.
Yes, that's who I am. That is who I am. Well, Chris, one hell of a show. Looks like we're going to wrap this up. We're going to wrap this up. But didn't I say we had an announcement or something?
I think we had something we had to announce, didn't we?
Yeah. What's happening next Tuesday, Chris?
Oh, are you talking about that wonderful event called Draft Tuesday?
Yes,
it's going to be live from City Limits Tap Room in beautiful D-Land, Florida. And, new drink special. All draft beers will be half off for Guys Night at City Limits Tap Room. So make sure you come out May 30th for our new start time of 8 p.m. and join us for Draft Tuesday.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Right there on the screen and right there, City Limits in DeLand, Florida. City Limits Tap Room, DeLand, Florida. We'll be hosting on May 30th from 8 to 9 p.m. Draft Tuesday with our guest. We got some guests coming.
That's right. We got guests.
Yes, we have not one, not two. We got 3 guests coming. 3 guests coming. We have the Super Radio Smash Brothers joining us for Draft Tuesday. I talked about them and I mentioned them when I went to the Daytona Beach Comic Convention a few weeks ago. They are coming on the show for Draft Tuesday. They will be there with us at the Land City Limits Tap Room. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Don't get too excited now. We got to reel it in. We still got a lot of planning. Because you know what? It's going to be a great show, but now we got to handle 3 people instead of 1.
I know.
So hopefully nobody gets too drunk.
I know. I hope, nothing else, nothing happens and stuff, though. But I do want to mention that you will be able to hear that podcast. It will be coming out here in the following week. You'll be able to hear it or actually view it on Friday on the YouTube channel. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm having a problem with my my podcast host that I use for the audio. I've run out of space. So here for these next couple podcasts, you saw the one last week. I want to thank Johnny Renate from Addison Theory for coming on and stuff. I had to host that podcast up on the YouTube channel. This podcast will be going up on the YouTube channel here on Friday if you happen to miss it. The audio version will be up on our Patreon page, which you can download a day early if you head over to patreon.com/ELS_DT. You'll get the audio version of this a day early before this released on Friday. And I do want to apologize that tonight we were supposed to have a guest come on the show, which he ended up, something came up. We were going to have Braden Knight and I can't believe my mind's going blank here.
Eric
Childs. Braden Knight and Eric Childs were going to be coming on tonight, but they're in a match right now, and we're going to be rescheduling for them to come back on. Look for when that date and time comes up here in the future. And I just want to also throw out there that you can listen to the podcast, Everett Lee Show. When I clear up some space, you can listen to it on Libsyn, everettleeshow.libsyn.com. Also, Stitcher Radio features the Everett Lee Show. Head over to stitcher.com/podcast/Everett Lee Show. Download that app for your smartphone and tablet. iTunes. Everett Lee Show is on iTunes. Be sure to subscribe to Everett Lee Show on iTunes. Get us a 5-star rating. Give us a review and let us know what you think.
Do it.
And, Chris, where can they find more Chris Carnage at?
Oh, you want more Chris Carnage? All you need to do is go to facebook.com/Chris Carnage Official to catch up on all the latest news and happenings with Chris Carnage, CC Presents, the Land Rock and Metal Festival, the Everett Lee Show, and Draft Tuesday. You don't like to go on Facebook? That's fine. I'm on Twitter too, at Planet Carnage. But hey, you like to get down on some video games? I do too. Go to twitch.tv/Chris Carnage Official, where I play all kinds of games like Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare 1 Remastered, Madden, Forza, Halo. We got it all. So come check us out.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, that's it for the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for everyone viewing the live stream tonight, interacting in the chat. We had no call-ins, though, but hopefully that will change. And I was going to throw out some, if we had some call-ins and more viewers tonight, I was going to throw out a little contest, a verbal Taekwondo movie line of the week, because I was going to hand out a couple of these bad boys tonight on some trivia. Yep. You got to win a couple of days right here. And also, you could have win some signed stuff by Everett Lee and Chris Carnage right here, right there.
Gonna get you that signed stuff.
Yeah, that signed stuff, Everett Lee, Chris Carnage, Draft Tuesday posters. Even also some Aaron Sluss of Seven Kingdoms. Signed autograph pictures of Aaron Sluss right here. Or no, right there. Somewhere on here. Oh, you could have won all this. You could have won this. But you know what? We'll hold that off probably for Draft Tuesday next week. We're going to give out some of that there. What do you say?
Yeah, we should.
Yes, we should. Let's hit this outro music. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, listeners of the Everett Lee Show. Thanks for tuning in each and every week, listening to us. Everyone has one hell of a night tonight. Good night. And we'll see you again next week on the Everett Lee Show for Draft Tuesday on Tuesday and on Wednesday. We will have a surprise on Wednesday. We won't mention it just yet, but you'll be surprised. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Everett Lee signing off. Chris.
Everybody take care. Make sure that you join us next week for Draft Tuesday. I'm going to be at City Limits. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, it is. All right. We'll see y'all later. Have a good night.